Hey, it's Monica, and today I will be talking about things. Yay! Things! It's kind of difficult to make these because I want to get into the habit of creating YouTube videos to talk about what's going on with my comic, but 2 chapters are out, so there's nothing to talk about yet, especially since my chapters are so short form. It's been really hard for me to wait for things to be released because I'm just so excited about all this stuff I want to share with the world, but I've got to be patient while it's coming out. I want people to be as into this as I am, and it's such a slow build. You don't even meet all the main characters of the first season of my comic until about halfway through, but it is very important to stagger content, and I know this from my experience with fanfiction, I guess. I once wrote a really, really long story. It was about 100,000 words, 50 chapters, and I released it over a long amount of time. And it got a lot of traction and gained heaps of followers and favourites because it was just so long. There were always new chapters being posted weekly or every few weeks towards the end. I think there were even months between some of the later chapters because I was working on it for years. It was hard to keep up with regular scheduling. But when I produced a shorter fanfiction, which was only 12 chapters, and it was better written. The first one I started when I was 12, and the other one was written about when I was 16, so it was a bit more polished. Still, pretty amateurish because I was 16. I thought it was better written with a better story and something more original, but it got no attention because it was only 12 chapters. It was a short release. And I do think stretching out a release, not too much, but I feel a weekly release schedule is very good for building traction on the internet. And that is what I'm trying to do because I want people to experience my content. But it is agonizing. It is agonizing to wait because I'm just so excited to show everyone. In other news, Tumblr deleted me. One day after I made my Tumblr account and spent literal hours scheduling my entire comic so that it would release weekly. So I finished scheduling all my content. I was like, yep, this is good. I did it. This is great. This took so long and I never want to do this again. But I did it. And so I logged out, thought everything was fine. And then I tried to log into my Tumblr account the next day to check on how things are going because something should have released and I wanted to just, be excited about it and see it release. And I find out my Tumblr account has been deleted. And I was like, oh, why? And so I reread all of the rules because I was like, did I break some rules? Somehow I don't think I was breaking any rule. And there was something saying automatic content or scheduled content was a red flag and they didn't like accounts doing that. But I'd only scheduled 50 things over the span of a year. And why even have a scheduling feature if I'm not supposed to use it? I guess because I scheduled it all at once, maybe they thought I was a bot or something. But I was so upset. I was I spent ages on this. Since I was so blindsided by my Tumblr being deleted, I sent a message to Tumblr being why? Why would you do this? Ouch. This hurts. And I didn't hear back from them after a day, so I jumped the gun a bit and was okay, I guess I don't have a Tumblr anymore. No Tumblr for me ever. So I went back to my end card where I have all the logos of the social medias I'm on, and I removed the Tumblr logo, and then I switched out the end card for all of my comic chapters in Webtoon, because that's where I put that end card, and I also put it at the end of my YouTube videos. I did it. I had to change that for 50 chapters, but it's okay. I'm kind of relieved because now I don't have to think about Tumblr anymore, because it was already a lot of social medias I was juggling, and I have very little experience with Tumblr as a platform, as you can see by me getting my Tumblr deleted after one day. But a day after I changed my end card, I got an email from Tumblr being oh, sorry, we deleted your account by mistake. It happens sometimes. It's restored now. And I was oh my god, I should have waited longer. So I checked. All my scheduled posts were still there. Everything was still there. And I was I just changed the end panel of all my webcomic chapters for no reason. And I can't be bothered changing them back now. So now the Tumblr logo is just going to be absent from things because, sure, it doesn't matter. No one looks at my Tumblr anyway. Well, I mean, it's been 2 weeks of it existing, so I'm not surprised I have no followers or notes. Actually, I think someone liked something once. I have officially reached 1 note on Tumblr in all of my Tumblr posts. So there's that. In other news, on Sunday, my laptop broke. It stopped being able to detect my internal hard drive, which was a shame. And after ringing up tech people and being on the phone with people who were supposed to help me fix my laptop and trying all the software updates and like all the possible software fixes I could possibly try, it seemed to be a hardware problem, and I was like, oh no, I have lost stuff. I have lost the video I made. Thankfully, most of the stuff on my laptop was backed up, but I had recently made a YouTube video that was not backed up, and I lost that, and that was annoying. It was already the second time I'd made that video, because I made the first one before I had a proper microphone to record videos on, and so I was remaking it to have something better that I was actually going to release on Wednesday of this week, and couldn't anymore. So maybe at some point I'll remake that video a third time, so someone might actually see it. So yeah, now I guess a new laptop's in my future, which is kind of nice. It's expensive, but like, my old laptop was 6 years old and it had quite a few dead pixels in the screen. I was really stretching it out. It was on its last legs. So bright side, new computer at some point. Right now I'm borrowing someone's just to make this video, so I have something to post on Saturday, as I always do. Well, always. This is my second time posting a video. The second YouTube video I have ever posted, so I'm not sure the word always really fits. But hopefully it will become an always thing, because I plan to post every week on Saturday chatting about the comic chapter I just did. And I have literally not talked about my comic chapter at all, because, well, I've released 2 chapters and there's nothing to talk about yet. Or is there? Let's see. All I've done so far is basically just introduce the 2 main characters, Jason and Sarah. Sarah being the girl, and Jason being the dude who's also a superhero, with his secret identity, Lightning Boy. And yes, I did just make up these names as I was drawing the comic, without putting more than 2 seconds of thought into any of them. But I feel like that's the charm of the names in my comic, and it's a thing that continues. So yeah, either you like it or you don't. And right now we don't really know much about either of the characters. We kind of see Sarah being kind of oblivious to the people around her and what's going on around her and the significance of discovering someone's superhero identity, but we don't really know what her deal is or why she's like that yet. And we see Jason being kind of nervous about Sarah discovering his identity, which is pretty normal for a superhero, I would think. So again, haven't really got much about Jason yet. It has been 2 chapters, 2 tiny chapters. Sigh. There will be more. There is much more comic to release. I feel like maybe by chapter 10 is when I would hope people would start getting into my comic, because I feel like that's when we've seen a little bit more of the characters. I'm not going to say too much about the future story because I don't want to spoil anything. That would be sad. Although, I mean, no one watches these anyway. I could probably say whatever I want here and no one will ever know. But on the off chance anyone will actually watch this, I will not spoil. So yeah, do the YouTube things, I guess. That's what people say at the end of videos, right? Like, comment, subscribe, follow me on all my social medias, or don't. I mean, that's fine. Maybe just pick one if you have a particular social media you like. I try to post my comics on all of them, and I post most of the comic extras on all of them. There are some things that would only be posted on certain platforms. I don't know, it's too early on to really know how I'm going to use all my different social medias. I feel like as the comic run goes on, I'll be using certain social medias for certain things. Like maybe if I get used to Twitter, I'll be tweeting more, like just casually. Probably not, I don't know, Twitter is scary. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this week's ramble. See you all next Saturday for another ramble. Bye!